Hello and welcome back to Tom's Tap. So in today's video I'm going to show you a few Facebook pickups I picked up recently, really decent ones. I'm also going to go over all the sales I made since yesterday. Q4 is booming, the sales are flying in still. And I'm going to revisit a few of the items I showed you on my last video that I got from the auction, because some of them are worth a hell of a lot more than I thought. So let's get straight into it. So last week I picked up all this Sega Dreamcast stuff from Facebook Marketplace. I managed to get all this for £120. I bought it all off a guy called Dave Chu, who just so happens to be a subscriber of the channel. He's a really nice guy. He even dropped it off to my house as well, which was very kind of him. So we've got a Dreamcast console with the official cables. We've got 3 memory cards, an official Dreamcast light gun. We've got 4 controllers. One of them is a Japanese import, which is see-through black and white in really good condition. That one was worth a lot more than I thought it was going to be. And then we've got all these games. So we've got House of the Dead 2, we've got Alone in the Dark, Resident Evil, Code Veronica, Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi. Unfortunately the case for that one was damaged, so that is just disc and manual. I've put it in a PS1 case for now just to keep it safe. We've got Shenmue as well, Soul Calibur, Shadow Man, Sega Rally, Tee-Off, Choo Choo Rocket, Virtual Tennis, F355 Challenge, and then we've also got 2 copies of Tomb Raider. Everything is in really good condition as well. There is a little bit of yellowing on the console, but I am going to get that out. The rest of it hasn't got any yellowing at all. I've never actually sold a Dreamcast before. I've also never played on one before, so I've been testing it today and I really enjoyed playing it, so I'm actually going to keep this. As I say, it's in very good condition. I will get that yellowing out. I'm going to keep one of the controllers, one of the memory cards as well. I am actually planning on building a testing station in here, so I'm going to keep that console. I've also been saving up a load of other consoles, and the plan is I'm going to get one of every console, so PS1, PS2, NES, SNES, literally everything. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of these drawers, and then I'm going to buy another shelving unit like this, and then I'm going to put it here. I'm going to cut the legs off at the same height as this, because this is a nice standing working height. And then I'm going to use John Luke's idea and buy a big thick fire door, which I'll then mount on the top here. That will then come out a little bit further, so I'll have a bit more space on the top. It will come all the way down here, and then I'm going to put 2 monitors on the back there, so I can test 2 consoles at the same time. Sometimes you have to reset consoles and stuff and format them. It takes ages. So with 2 monitors, I'll be able to format one console and then be testing another one on the other monitor. And then I'm going to build like little pocket holes on the front here, and then have one of every console and have them all plugged in. So any games I get, controllers, memory cards, I can just test everything. It'll all be set up and ready in place. But also it'll double up as like a gaming room and a man cave, so I can come in here and play retro games whenever I want. And then underneath, because I'm going to use this shelving unit, and I'll be cutting the top half off, so I'll have a lot of extra shelves. So underneath here will just be a load more shelves, and then I'm just going to fill it with boxes like this. So I'll have a much bigger workspace. I'll still have all my laptop and printer and everything on the top. I am also planning on getting a disc cleaning machine. I have actually been saving up the little bit of money that I do make on YouTube. I'm saving it all up, and the plan is to buy a really decent disc cleaner, so I'll be able to put that on the top there as well. And then I'm also planning on mounting like a bubble wrap roll that will sit inside this shelf here on like a roller. And then I'll be able to just roll bubble wrap out across here and then just cut it with a knife, because I normally just use scissors and it's a bit of a faff, it takes ages. Now I will be making a video about doing this, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that, because I will be going through the whole process of building that. So if I was to sell all of this, I think it would come to about £450 value. But I am going to keep the console, so after keeping that, it will be about £370 value. And the profit from that should be about £250 before fees. And I get the console for free. Massive shout out to Dave on Facebook for this. Really do appreciate it. I'm loving the Dreamcast. That's going to be a big help when I build my testing station. And you're helping support the business as well. So if you are watching, mate, I really do appreciate it. Now let's move on to the next one. So this pickup is also from Facebook. I've got a Dyson DC22 Hoover. We've got a PlayStation Vita console, a case, and also a few games as well. So originally he had the Vita and the games up for 60, and then he had the Hoover up for 20, but I managed to haggle him down and I got the whole lot for 60. So obviously the thing that drew me in was the Vita. There's some really decent money with those bits. Whenever I buy off Facebook, I always look at the seller's other items as well to see if they have anything else I can make some money on. So then I saw the Hoover, I looked that up, and I should be able to get about 80 quid just for that. So that's already all my money back plus profit. Now I know that a Vita like that would normally sell for about £100, and when looking at it from the front, it's in really good condition. But when I picked it up, I didn't check it properly. It was inside that case there, and I just looked at the front and thought, yeah, that's in really good nick. And I didn't take it out. But unfortunately, someone's cut a big hole in the back of it. And I don't know why they've done that. It looks like they've tried to fix it somehow. But it does all still work. So even as it is, it's still worth about 50 quid. And I have actually already sold that. This did come with a 64GB memory card as well. And these are quite expensive to buy. I've listed that one for £56. Formula F1 is worth £18. Farming Simulator is worth 40. Assassin's Creed is worth 36. And then Lego Jurassic World is worth 9. Did also come with Call of Duty, which I sold for £13. And then it also came with Madden NFL, which I sold for £40. So that comes to a total value of £340, which then leaves me with £280 profit before fees. So, since yesterday, I've done a total of £521.85. So the sales are flying in, business is booming, it's definitely Q4. I've really been putting the work in recently. I've been listing 20 items a day, working pretty much night and day, 7 days a week. So it is a lot of work, but it's all paying off. So let me show you what I sold. First sale is Spider-Man 2 on the PSP. That sold for £4.74. I think I picked that up at a car boot sale for £1. The next one is Tomb Raider on the Dreamcast from the pickup I showed you a minute ago. That one sold for £10. Then we got this vintage Dinky Toys tank, which is in really good condition. That one sold for £8. The next one is this boxed Nintendo 2DS console. I got that on Facebook as well. I think I paid about £120 in total for a big job lot. I got 2 of these, Pokemon Heart Gold, a load of other games and some DS consoles as well. I'm well into profit on that now. This one sold for 90, so that's all profit as well. Next up is a PS Vita that I showed you earlier. That one sold for £48. Then we got this vintage Simpsons electronic game from 1999. That one sold for £15. I got that in a big job lot I got from one of my contacts, which I'm well into profit now. So that one is also all profit. Next up is this vintage Corgi toy crane. I sold that one for £30. I picked that up from the auction last week. I paid £40 for a big job lot of these. I'm well into profit on that as well. So again, this is all profit. The next sale was this vintage Action Man toy. I sold that one for £7. I got that from a car boot sale. I bought a big box of random stuff like this for £2. I think I made about £60 off that box so far. So again, that one is all profit. I've sold one of them Dreamcast controllers from the pickup I showed you earlier. That one went for £15. The next one is Super Mario Galaxy on the Nintendo Wii. That one sold for £7. I also got that from last week's auction and a big job lot of games that I bought. The next one is Shenmue on the Dreamcast. Those are a 4-disc game set and they went for £21. Then we got another vintage car. That one sold for £7. And then we got another Dinky Toys car. That one's in terrible condition. It's missing tyres, rusty, it's been painted. That's still sold for £6. People buy these because they like restoring them. And then the last vintage car is this one. And that one sold for £15.63. And then this one is probably my favourite sale of the day. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions on the PS3 in excellent condition. I did get that from the auction as well last week. CEX sell that one for £50, but I've just sold my one for £60. So really pleased with that one. Then I sold this Seiko wall clock I also got that from the auction last week. I thought that would be worth about a £5, but it turns out it's worth a lot more. Just sold that one for £20. There's quite a lot of stuff from that auction that's worth a hell of a lot more than I thought, which I will be going into more detail about later, so stay tuned. And then the last sale, which just came in about 10 minutes ago, was this Game Boy Advance SP. That one sold for £49 without a charger. That also came from last week's auction as well, and this one is also all profit. I'm now going to get to work getting that all packed up and posted, but before I do that, I just want to give a massive shout out to Cliffbone on Instagram. He watched my last video and he saw that I was struggling with the label paper I had for my printer and how it wasn't sticking very well and the labels kept falling off. So he said he was going to send me out a free roll of label paper, and I received his package the other day, and then when I opened it up, I saw that he's also sent me 2 full rolls of brown parcel tape. He also sent a brand new tape dispenser and 3 rolls of really good label paper. I've tried this stuff out, it's really good. The labels aren't falling off anymore, so I don't have to tape over them. So yeah, really appreciate that, mate, thank you. So before I go, I just wanted to go over a few of the items I showed you in my previous video. 3 boxes containing various jugs, glassware, and random other tat. If you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you go check it out so you know what I'm talking about here. But I bought these items from an auction, all in a big job lot. So there was 3 crates of stuff. And at first I thought all the stuff in there was just a load of old rubbish. And the only reason I bought it is because there was 2 Game Boy Advance consoles in there. And I bought the lot because of those bits. And originally I thought with the Game Boys and a couple of other bits in the crates, I thought I was looking at maybe like £400 worth of stuff. But when I made that video, I hadn't actually looked any of it up yet. But I have now looked everything up, and I'm quite surprised about some of the value in some of the items that were in there. So one of the items was this set of copper pans. I had no idea what these were worth. In the video I said, I think they'll probably be worth about a tenner. But yeah, I've looked those up, and there's potentially about £100 there. I've seen sold from anywhere from like 60 to 100, so I've cleaned them up. Cleaned up quite nicely. Mine's a set of 6 as well. I've seen sets of 5 sell for like 80, so the fact that there's 6, maybe that means they'll go for a little bit more. But I'm probably going to start off on about £100 on them. And then the second item was this Dalton vase, which is from 1884. And when I first saw that, I had no idea what it was. Thought, yeah, it's got to be worth at least a tenner as well. But I've done a bit of digging on that, and I've actually listed that for £80, and I've already got about 6 watches on that. So I'm pretty confident that'll sell for about 80. And then we've got this bad boy. Now, when I first saw this, I had absolutely no idea what it was. Thought it was some sort of oil tin, because it's made by a company called Wesco, and they do make oil tins. But I tried to do some research on it, and I couldn't find anything online about it. I was just about ready to chuck it in my carboot pile and save it for next year. I'd have probably tried to sell that at carboot for about a £5. But I decided to do a little bit more digging, and I just want to give a massive shout out to a couple of people who've helped me find out what this is. So I posted about it on Instagram first, and then Stephen Allen sent me a message, and he told me that this is from Germany, and it's also from World War II. So based off that information, I then posted it on Facebook, and then Jacob Paul found out exactly what this is for me, so shout out to both of you. But it turns out that this thing was used by the Nazis in World War II, and they used to go around trying to collect money off of the public. And in exchange, they'd give people Nazi propaganda, lapels and leaflets and stuff. And basically, so that there is like a little coin slot. This hole is for putting notes in. It's got some German writing on there, and that translates into paper money. And then it's also got a little padlock latch there, so people can't get into it. And then on the inside, it's got this really strange sort of mechanism. And I had no clue what that was when I first saw it. But that thing is basically to stop people trying to shake the coins back out. So yeah, really cool item that is. And it's also in really good condition. And it turns out that this thing is extremely rare and hard to come by, and a very collectible item as well. So the other ones that I have seen online now, there's one on eBay which was in really bad condition, and that one was £140. Couldn't find any sold listings because they're that rare. The other one that Jacob sent me was valued at up to £180, but again, that one's in terrible condition. But my one, considering how old it is and what it was used for, is in excellent condition. So I've now listed that on eBay for £200. Now, I think this could potentially be worth more than that, just because of how rare it is and how good the condition is. So if anyone thinks that that is worth more, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. And it's just crazy how I was so close to just chucking it in the loft. That would have just sold for £5 probably at the car boot, and then it would have been gone. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. So now I know the true value of these items, along with all the other items that were in that box. I've worked it out, and the value of all of it together comes to about £900. Now I paid £40, I think, and then with the fees it came to about £52. I've already made a lot of money off that. I sold Pokemon Red that was in there, that sold for £75. I already made all my money back, plus profit on one item. And yeah, with all these bits and all the other bits as well that were in there, £900 from 50, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Please do give the video a like on your way out. It helps support the channel and it helps me bring you more content like this, so please do consider doing it if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one.